Hello, and thank you for joining us for a Westwood Trust Creative Chat. My name is Claire Williamson, and I am the Director of Education and Community Engagement at Society for the Performing Arts. To briefly describe myself and my surroundings, I'm a white woman with long brown hair and dark rimmed glasses, and I am wearing a black polka dotted shirt. There are some framed photos on the white wall behind me. I am thrilled to be chatting this evening with the live commission awardees of the Houston Artist Commissioning Project, Loop38, and Houston Contemporary Dance Company. The mission of SPA's Houston Artist Commissioning Project is to provide economic and creative support to Houston's artist community, with 6 local artists awarded funds to create original work that will premiere on the Jones Hall stage this October and November for 2 socially distanced performances. To learn more about the Houston Artist Commissioning Project and to purchase tickets, please visit our website. The link is in the video description and shown here on screen. Now, before we delve into the conversation, I would like to take a moment to humbly acknowledge the many Indigenous communities that have long used and continue to use this land as a living and gathering space. SPA's offices in Jones Hall are located on ancestral land traversed by the Karankawa, Atakapa Ishak, Sana, and Kwalwitakan people. The Alabama Kushada also migrated to the Houston area over 3 centuries ago, and they have played a large role in shaping the culture and economy of our region. We know that a land acknowledgement is not enough, but we look to this as a starting place of recognition and respect for the lived experience of the people of this land, and to broaden awareness for the forces that have led to this moment. To briefly introduce the piece that we're going to be discussing this evening, which is premiering in October, Body and Spirit, Corporea y Espiritu, celebrates human connection and relationships while also honoring the challenging divisions we have yet to overcome. This work interlaces the evocative music of Gabriela Ortiz, performed by Loop38 members, and the brand new choreography created by Jesus Acosta and Dwayne Travis of Houston Contemporary Dance Company. Welcome all.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go around and do introductions. Marlena, do you want to start?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Marlena Doyle. I'm the founding artistic and executive director of Houston Contemporary Dance Company. Also the president and CEO of the Institute of Contemporary Dance, which is where I am today. I'm a white woman with blonde hair, green eyes, and I'm wearing a gray shirt. And I'm in the 2nd floor of the Institute and excited to be here.
Thanks, Marlena. Craig.
Hi, my name is Craig Hauschulz. I'm a percussionist and conductor on this project with Loop38. I have, dusty blonde hair and blue rimmed glasses, sitting on a red couch in front of a couple lovely framed images, colorful framed images from my wife.
Thanks, Craig. And Caitlin.
Hello, my name is Caitlin. I am the harpist for Loop38, the contemporary music ensemble. I am also a white woman with brown hair, and I am sitting in front of my harp and my harp studio.
Wonderful. Well, I'm so glad to be here today with all of you. It's just such an exciting piece that you have collaborated on, and we're really excited to see it on the Jones Hall stage in October, in a week almost. Yeah, so exciting. So let's just start off. I'd love to hear, how did this collaboration come together?
Well, I'll say, kind of jump in here. When we saw the opportunity that SPA was putting together, some of the Loop crew were all tossing around ideas, and I've wanted to work with Marlena for many years. I think, Marlena, I don't know if you remember. Do you remember when we first met? It was back there at the Byzantine Chapel at the farewell concert. And that's got to almost be a decade or more now ago. And I've been looking forward to doing something with them for a long time. So, or with Marlena in particular for a long time. And when this opportunity came up, we reached out to Marlena, and she gleefully, I think, said yes. So, thus the project was born.
Yeah, and Houston Contemporary is always looking for ways to collaborate. We're really into collaborations here in the city. We're a new dance organization, but I've been in the city for 20 years, which is crazy. I had my anniversary in July, but started this new nonprofit and this new space in 2019, right before the pandemic. So when Craig reached out, we were open and willing to do anything to work with, especially live music. The company is a repertory company, which means we bring in artists to create work. And when we can do anything with live music and any local artists, we really try to jump gleefully at any opportunity. And then in this case, it's a little different because we are having two of the dancers create the work. And I'm sure we'll get into that. But yeah, so excited for them to have that opportunity as well, which doesn't present itself often.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited to get into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
And actually, I didn't know that, Marlena. I moved to Houston 20 years ago in August, so we are 20-year anniversary buddies.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a great year for Houston.
It was a special time.
It was.
Well, I think one of the things that's so interesting about collaboration, this collaboration in particular, it's an interdisciplinary collaboration, and it took shape during the pandemic. So there are some really unique challenges there with both elements. I'd love to just sort of talk about learning experiences or reflections that you have from this experience that maybe have helped you grow as artists, or as org administrators through this experience.
Who would like to jump in?
I can go on that. So I feel like the dancers are always open to projects. And I feel like in this case, when I asked Dwayne and Jesus, that was part of the application was, Jesus is from Mexico, and Dwayne's father is Hispanic. So it's, kind of having that within relationship to the composer, which I think was what Loop38 really wanted, was the Hispanic culture kind of represented. And so talking to them and asking them if they would be interested, and kind of telling them, like, this is something we should do. So this is what you're going to do. I think they were excited at the opportunity. I don't usually let the dancers choreograph. During the pandemic, I did, just because there's only so many artists we can bring in, and with budgets and everything. So they met with Craig, and they have been working with the dancers. Craig came in and sat on a few rehearsals. Fortunately, the company is very busy right now. We're on our third of 4 music dive-ins. We've had 4 shows in the last 3 weeks.
Wow.
This will be the 4th. So yeah, all the collaborations came together in the same 4 weeks, and we're just kind of holding on to our reins and making it work. But the dancers are mature and very talented, and excited for the opportunity, especially to dance on Jones Hall. Fun fact, we started the company in October of 2019, but in August, when we still had Theater District Open House, Meg offered for the company to come and present dance, to kind of represent dance that you all bring in at SBA. So our first show ever was at Jones Hall. So this is pretty exciting to return there. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a great full circle moment. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think on our side, we've learned a lot over the past year in general, just working through the pandemic and trying to make things accessible in a totally different way. But this has been such an exciting project. I don't know for how many other people in the group. I've played a couple performances, but our first rehearsal was the first time I played with more than 4 people in a long time. And it was such a different feeling. It was so nice to be with so many other people. It's not quite an orchestra, but it's a full ensemble. And so it felt great to just finally get back and connect with the other members of Loop. So it's been a really great opportunity for us to be able to start our season off this way, getting everybody together. And it'll be our first time in Jones Hall. So that's really exciting.
And it'll be our first live concert, right?
This season?
This season.
Yeah.
So we did some outdoor concerts with this last year, but this will be the first time back inside. So it's exciting to get to be on the stage at Jones Hall.
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah, we're really excited for that as well. Yeah, I think, there's just so much power in feeling these this art in person, and really getting to experience it together. What was the process like during the pandemic of, Marlena, you mentioned that Craig has come to a couple of the rehearsals. Were you two sort of working, were the two organizations kind of working parallel, separate for the majority of the project, or how have you been able to kind of overlap and collaborate?
Yeah, I would say so. I feel like Craig and I both wanted more time to be together, but it's just with scheduling and everything, we've got going on, and then trying to arrange all the musicians to be there. So next, the week of the show is where we're going to really come together in the space here. And Craig got us a really great recording of it, but it's not the people that will be playing. So we're looking forward to hearing that in the space, and kind of the music's beautiful, though. The dancers really love it. And I think the meetings that Craig has had with me, and then the information he's worked with the gentleman, has been really effective, because sometimes it's good for me as a director to step back and let them do the thing. So it's going to be good for me to kind of just be able to sit and watch, and kind of be a part of that in a way that I can from a distance. But yeah, I think Craig and I both feel like we could have like weeks of rehearsal and like all this time, but it's just not reality right now. And I think, Craig and I have talked a lot, but in the last couple of weeks, we kind of gave the material, the music and everything to the dancers so they could start creating. So yeah.
That's a little bit of the result of the pandemic, and also part of the creative process. Like, I really have enjoyed being at those rehearsals and seeing how like the dance side works so differently than the music side. Like, we have sheet music and we're sitting there and this is what you need to do at this moment, and et cetera, et cetera. And then being there and watching Jesus and Dwayne, like make adjustments and comment on each other. Like, maybe we should try this, or what about this, or what about this motion or that one? And just to see it like really develop organically is really very inspiring, I have to say. As somebody who just like finds a score and then tries to replicate what's on the score, it's like, this is so cool. And I loved watching them work, and I can't wait till next week when we get all the musicians in there, all the dancers, and then the timings will start to be a little bit different and malleable, and we can interact with one another, and I think it'll be really magical.
Yeah, I love just sort of the evocativeness of calling it like a really organic process, and just thinking about like, yeah, with the dancers, they're co-creating as they go through the choreography, and you all as the musicians will be able to like be a part of that process, and it will become like generative once you get together, which is great.
Yeah, it's really, that's the powerful part of this piece, I think. All the collaboration, the organic working together.
Yeah, and that's a great segue, Caitlin. Let's talk more about the piece. Yeah, so I read that brief description, but I think that there's so much more to talk about with the work. I think maybe first talking about a little bit, giving folks a little bit more of an intro into the theme, and then I would love to hear how you all at Loop38 found Gabriela Ortiz's piece, and what your communication with her has been like, and that side of things.
Absolutely. Well, and as the person who's been in touch with her, maybe I should step in there. Yeah. I first came across her music through a local violinist, Jackson Guillen. She had come to the University of Houston and worked with him when he was studying there. And we were looking for repertoire for another concert. Gosh, this has probably been 5 or 6 years ago. And she has this very beautiful piece called Rio Bravo, for tuned wine glasses and voice, and either violin or flute. And I've gotten the honor of doing this piece several times in different configurations and iterations. It's a very beautiful meditation on some of the tragedy that goes on at the Rio Grande River. as far as like immigration goes. So it was it's kind of digging right into some of these topics. And in coming across her music, like I know of her as a composer that I adore and really like. And when we're looking for this piece, Loop38 is an ensemble it's very modular. There's a little like one of everything, so to speak. You've got like strings and woodwinds and brass and percussion and harp and piano and the repertoire for that group isn't always easy to find. So when we were going through like her catalog, it was like, oh, there's this really interesting piece. Let's check it out. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't been recorded, or it hadn't been recorded at that point in time. So we reached out to her to like find information about it. And it turns out during the pandemic, actually the LA Phil recorded the last movement, which you can find on their video series. And it's an episode called Finales. It's really stunning. If you want to check out the work, I definitely encourage that. Maybe, I don't know if you can add links anywhere, Claire.
Yeah, we'll definitely link to that.
I'll send that link, and it starts at 22 minutes and 28 seconds. And you'll get a sense of the visceral energy of the end of the piece, which is just amazing. That recording doesn't give you the first three movements, though. So the first and the third movement is very ethereal. I think it evokes the spirit side of it. And then the second and the fourth movement are very energetic, very driving, very rhythmic. So you get this juxtaposition in the movement from the first to the second and then the third to the fourth that I think is like really glorious. Wow. Caitlin, you were there in the rehearsal. Do you want to add anything to that?
Oh yeah, I mean the piece in general, it can be, there's some moments that are really spooky and it starts off very softly, but then the energy at the end is really incredible. It's very fun, and I think really what drew us to the piece was that idea of the body versus spirit, these opposing forces, these sort of like two sides of the coin, two different things that they have to work together. They are paired like that, but they're also kind of opposing forces. And in her writing about the piece, she talks about that a little bit and how that those things work together and also against each other. And so I think that's a really interesting concept to explore as we've had to find new ways to connect with each other through the pandemic. There's a lot of themes that are easily relatable to that in the current culture and society. So it was a really interesting theme to grasp onto as well, and works perfectly with dance. The title itself, it's about the body and the physical, and then pairing that with the music, which is very internal, and dance is so external. So I think that's a really special piece, and the themes there too.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm curious, Marlena, like as somebody who was kind of given the score and the music, like what were some of your reactions to it, or the reactions of the dancers?
Well, at first when I listened to it, I wish I was creating to it. I was like, I want to make a dance to this, but they were just like, the lady, it's 2 men and 2 women, which is the 4 that are dancing are Jesus Duane, who are also the choreographers, Risa and Janine, and they're the founding members of the company. I started with 6, but during the pandemic I lost 2. So they're kind of the body and soul of the organization as well. So it kind of worked together, and I trust them 100%. They're also over 25. I'm not gonna tell you how old they are, but they're older, so they're more mature. So they love, all 4 of them said this music is beautiful, they love it. So and I think the boys really grasp when there's like a juxtaposition, a story, a concept, that it's not just music just to be music, like it has a deeper meaning, and I think they connect with that. They're all very passionate when they dance, so they're just looking forward to being together. And like I said, we've had so many things going on, so I think this is kind of the ending of our craziness, and I think they're really looking forward to having 2 opportunities. Sometimes as dance you just do one night, so having, thank you for SBA for having 2 opportunities to do the work and kind of let it grow. And it's not quite done yet. As of today, which will be tomorrow, So they will have some time to work with the musicians in the space, which I think will maybe bring out some different ideas and themes and hearing it live versus listening to a recording. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's really wonderful to hear the three of you talk about it, and I know that the other folks involved, I'm sure, are the same. But the like excitement and passion that comes through in your descriptions and in your reflections is just, I think it's really palpable, and I can't wait to experience. It's getting me really excited to see it on stage. I'm just like, all right, next Friday can't come soon enough. I really just like I'm super honing in on that like parallel between body and spirit and dance and music. That is just such a beautiful connection. I mean, obviously there's all of these other great connections as well, but you're like the like actual manifestation of the piece itself like actually reflects the themes. It's really wonderful. Well, I think that's we're coming to a close on our conversation, but I always like to make time in these chats for you all to shout out anything that you have going on outside of this work with SPA. I know Marlena has something happening this weekend, and if there's anything else coming up for Loop38, please take some time, shout out whatever is pressing.
Okay, yeah. So Houston Contemporary Dance Company is collaborating with Roco and Outspoken Being at the new Post HTX, which is a downtown cultural destination. It's World Post Day, and it is the historic building of the city. It's the old post office building that they've turned into this new amazing space. So I was asked to create a site-specific work on the X Gallery, and we are doing music from Elvis Costello's Juliet Letters, which is a 4-string quartet with a singer and dancers, and then Outspoken Being will be doing a set as well. And so that is this weekend, and you can find tickets on our website or Roco's website or just through the Post. And then we're doing this show, which is very exciting. We're looking forward to that. And then November 20th, Houston Contemporary Dance Company will be at the Hobby Center. We're doing a one night. We're calling the show Terra Firma, which means solid ground in Latin. And that's us being finally on our feet in a theater. We had a hobby booked in April of 2020, and then obviously it got postponed and canceled. So we're excited to be finally in the hobby. We haven't ever done that yet as an organization. I've been in that theater many times, but this will be the first for Houston Contemporary. So we're doing a one evening there with Kinetic Ensemble. We collaborated with them before. So, and then we have a couple guest artists as well and other repertory from the dancers. So yeah, busy, but always excited for collaborations, and they just love performing. And like I said, they're a little older, so the more I can get them out there performing, the better. And they really appreciate any opportunity to collaborate. So we're grateful for this, and thank you for SBA for doing that. I know this is partly you, Claire, and Meg as well. Thank you for making something for the city, because it's really great to celebrate so many great things that the city has, and giving us the space to do it. It's really great. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We are so excited to be celebrating your work and the work of the other 5 awardees. This is, there's so much amazing. This, you're just talking about the things that you have coming up is just a perfect example of how much amazing creative work is happening in Houston, and we just hope to continue to support it. Craig and Caitlin, anything you all want to shout out that's coming up?
A couple days ago, we posted this season. So we have 5 concerts, 5 events throughout the 2021-22 season, which we're very excited about, and there may be more coming soon too. So if you're interested in finding out more about those, lots of information posted on our Facebook or Instagram or website. Any specific one you want to mention, Craig?
I mean, I'm looking forward to our concert, not only this concert, obviously, but our concert on November 19th, the night before. Marlena's show at the Hobby will be at First Congregational Church. And similarly, we had planned to do a big premiere of a local composer's work, Shiwei Chen, for harpsichord flute, oboe, and cello. And that was delayed at the start of the pandemic. It was supposed to be back in May of last year. And we're going to finally get to premiere that piece, do some other works for harpsichord. There's a quartet by Dutu called for percussion, bass, harpsichord, and oboe. 4 of us are going to do a piece drumming on a bass and hitting bells and woodblocks and trash cans. So there'll be a lot of fun. I think that concert's going to be centered on games and play and just having a good time and making music again. So we're really excited to kind of turn it back on and then go from there. So definitely check us out on Facebook.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yes, and we will be linking to both HCDC and Loop38's Facebook and websites, etc. In this post, and you can find them in all of our promo materials for HACP as well. So it's all over the web with us. But yes, thank you to the 3 of you. Thank you, Marlena, Caitlin, and Craig, so much for joining me today. And a huge thank you to our audience for joining us virtually, and also thank you to our program sponsor, Westwood Trust. Before we sign off, I just want to say again, I encourage you all to learn more about and support the amazing work that Loop38 and Houston Contemporary Dance Company have going on beyond this piece with SPA. Check out their handles and websites in the video description. Thank you all again so much for being here. SPA is a nonprofit organization. If you enjoyed this conversation, please consider learning more about what we do at SPA and supporting our work and the work of our amazing Houston Artist Commissioning Project artists. And make sure to save the date for Loop38 and HCDC's Houston Artist Commissioning Project premiere live at Jones Hall next Friday and Saturday, October 15th and 16th at 7:30 p.m. on both days. Tickets can be purchased on our website.
There it is.
Shown on screen, and will also be in the chat. Yeah, check it out. And we hope to see you all there. Bye.
Thank you, SBA.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week, Greg. Bye, Caitlin.
Bye.